I think we are live now. Let's see. Did I get pixelated again? I'm so pixelated. Let me see if I can get this over to Scott. I'm running a little late today. Get that link over there. Come on. There you go. And what is the other link I was going to give him? Give him this link. So welcome to Double Funnel TV. I'm like super great and engaging at this. But we'll get Scott over here and we'll get started today building funnels and helping people double their revenue. So I need to get, it's very hard to get everyone to get their information, and I need information to build. So if you are needing your website built or a landing page or your email automations, go over to doublefunnel.tv and submit your information, and all the process to get going there is listed on the website. We got Scott here because he's much more engaging in the morning. A little.
Hola all. Hi, Jenna.
How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah. Rosy pink cheeks.
Mine?
Yeah, good. Yes, you.
It's because it's like 4,000 degrees in my office.
Why?
Well, because
you turned the heater on?
Not I didn't. Somebody did. I suggested we back it down just a blowtorch notch or two.
Why? Why?
I think it's all good. All good.
All good, huh? All good, all good.
Found some, I spent some time with the fabulous Sherry Tree and Esther Wildenberg yesterday, along with, of course, the tremendously fabulous Sean G. Murphy, as we were taking part in some trainings yesterday. That was really exciting. But as we were working on those bullet points yesterday, all of a sudden it was like light bulb. There was a light bulb moment, and that's the prep to tweaking those bullets. I mean, it was just not, you can't really see it or read it because I did it really quickly, but it was interesting in sitting and talking about sales psychology and biology, how people buy. Really tweaking those bullet points and recognizing how not only on my page, but we have to do this for everybody's pages, right? I mean, it's something, it becomes standard to attract the proper avatar, which I trained on Monday, right? We have to have the proper avatar and do it the right way. And but it just, every time you hear that training, or every time I hear that training, it just reinforces the thought on how we tend to reach out to people as we would like it to be, as we would like them to reach out to us, except there are other peoples, right? We need to attract all the peoples, not just the ones that are like us. So just, it's interesting how you continue to learn on a daily basis. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's super, super duper fun. Let's see if we can go. I've got my account open. Sign out. And I was on the call with the guys at Kyvio, Neil and Steven, yesterday, and I just want Kyvio 2 to come out. It's going to be so awesome. Unfortunately, all the things that make it awesome, it's a little too leading edge.
What's that?
It's a little too leading edge. So there was one of our calls like 3 months ago. They were having a difficult time making sure they had the right developer. And if I need a developer, I can almost call anybody, right? Because it's website, not getting super complicated. Any developer with any common sense and any background will do, right? And they were spouting all these words, and I'm techie, right? And I'm like clueless. I'm like, man, I've got a brother with a master's degree in computer science. I have a sister with a bachelor's degree in computer science making 6 figures at 22. How is it I don't even recognize the words you're saying? Like, I've never even right?
Yeah.
In these conversations where those two will start talking and I've got no idea, right? And so I was like, look, just spell these words out for me, because they were like words. I was like, I'm not even positive how you spell them. And I text my brother to see, like, you know, does he know somebody who can handle the level of coding that they need? And my brother's like probably on that autism spectrum, like super like difficult to reach. I'll text him and I'll never get an answer back. You call him and you're lucky to get a few minutes in, and if I get 30-minute conversation with him, I'm like, yes, I've done something incredible, right? And so I text him these fancy words and sentences, and he texts me immediately back. He's like, Jenna, what did you get yourself into? Like, I'm not doing any of it. But basically what they're building is a very enterprise level solution. And so it has the capability to, you know, grow with people, which is some of the limitations with different programs. Sometimes,
right.
Like an AppSumo deal, like they're just not enterprise level. Like literally, if you try to put a large organization on it, it would just crumble, right?
Right.
And the other problem is it's leading edge technology. So it's literally technology that has not been around that long. So people don't know it as well. So now you have to find this very tiny group of developers who know this leading edge technology, and you need them to already know it, because you don't want to hire the new guys who are figuring it out.
Right.
But you also need them to be able to operate on an enterprise level solution and do high security stuff, because each one of the programs has to talk to each other. And I've been making sure that I let them know that this needs to be automatic.
Right.
So now having to have things like, so the goal here is when somebody, let's say, sets up a membership site on Kyvio, because that was the original, like that's the heart of it. That's what makes it different than, say, you know, just like lead pages or something, or Unbounce, that it will automatically set up a basic sales page for you.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It will automatically set up a basic website for you. How cool
awesome.
would that be?
Well,
and all you would have to do is go down and put your information into a form, and boom. So that's what I'm waiting on. Like, what, just make it so much easier.
Yeah, it really would. Well, what's interesting is, and this is, I think we can't, there's a lot of detail to what we went through yesterday, and not you and I at this training, right? But I really think that I need to share this information with you so that we can create thought process and plans, because it becomes universal, actually.
Now, is that for bullet points or?
It's really for all attraction marketing. I mean, it's actually for communicating a message. It's for everything.
Now, you know, I already have that done.
You have portions of it done. I'm going to suggest there might be things that you do not know you do not know.
I'm sure there's definitely some, but you've never seen my full packet.
No. I'm not. It's not a shot across the bow. It's not an insult.
For as much time as we spend together, you've not seen everything.
Oh, I know that. That's why I said we need to sit down, because I do not know what I do not know either. It's not like a one-sided thing, you know. No, but I just what I find fascinating, because I watched 2 different rooms full of people yesterday, how all of a sudden the light bulb pops, comes on, and it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see when people get it, because ultimately it makes their life easier. When they get it, it's like, right? And so it would help our pages convert more. My page convert more. It modified my thinking on how to produce my own stuff. But if I'm going to do it for my stuff, then you also share it with other people, just like we're doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. That was my point of that whole long discourse there.
Kind of like I did the Black Friday training I have a need to fill in some blanks on our Business Growth Network training where people can go through, and it is a 30-day launch. If you needed to relaunch your business because you've got this boring website, it's not performing, or your sales is not where it needs to be, what do you need to do in the first 30 days? Because that's what everybody wants to know, right? I need something to work now.
Yeah, exactly.
And so We Coach Kyvio group, the special coaching group that we put through with a launch we did a couple months back ago, they paid $2,000 for this, very small group training, and we put it together, and it was 30 days, and it was really intensive. And I'm not going to say it wasn't a lot of work, but it was work you could get done in 1 hour a day.
Wow.
And so, kind of like what we're doing here, right? Like, I'm not saying you can build a complete funnel in 1 hour. When I said I was going to be doing Double Funnel TV live for 1 hour in the morning each day, he was like, you can't build a good funnel in an hour. I don't care what anyone says. I'm like, no, but you can build good pieces of the funnel in 1 hour, right? And we actually went through, even from the very beginning, like defining kind of like a vision, going through and deciding what your niche is, what do you actually love, what are you actually good at, and then what will make you money. Lots of people have something. And then going through and actually testing your niche. So I poured through a ton of research on different people who are successful. How do they test and validate an idea before really putting it out on the market? Mm-hmm. And I managed to get it all on one worksheet for 3 different ones. So like a basic testing validation for your funnel. And it was kind of amazing. Like, that's the one sheet I've never seen anyone put out there in one sheet. They'll turn it into a 20-sheet packet. I'm like, too complicated. Let's zip. Right. And then going through and saying, hey, we're going to build our basic landing page today with a basic offer and a basic thank you page that just literally says thank you. Or maybe, goes to a book me now, like, book like a boss has. And while we're building the rest, I want you to be driving traffic to the landing page and building an audience. And I feel like that's where some people got lost. So I kind of want to do the training again for our Business Growth Network people and take it a little bit step further, because I want to find out the psychology of why people get so stuck.
Right.
We had one person, they built everything. They never drove traffic. And then when they did, it was spamming. It was, how can I, like, literally, I've been spammed my Facebook inbox, and I'm like, that might even be that's not quite text message spammy. It's really close.
Wow.
It's like this personal space. I have not invited you into my home, and you're spamming me. And that guy is really upset and doesn't want to make the last payments because ActiveCampaign shut his account down almost immediately because he imported every networking list from all these networking groups and started spamming their email. What does every list on this thing say? Do not spam.
Do not spam.
And so people get really angry when you spam them, and they do this funny thing, and they, when you unsubscribe on an email, and it takes you to a page on the website that says, unsubscribe me, and it might ask you for your reason for your unsubscription. If you hit this is spam report, or I didn't sign up to this list, it gets sent to the email provider, so in this case, ActiveCampaign, and ActiveCampaign shut his account down. Wow. Surprise, surprise. You're not allowed to spam.
Makes sense.
So, what are we going to do today? Going to go finish up your stuff? What is your launch plan, dude?
Oh, what? Sorry, I'm getting like texts, and it's like everybody is so demanding this morning. What are we going to do? We're going to do mine? I thought we were going to do somebody else's this morning.
I do. I need to load them up, but I need their Kyvio access, and I haven't gotten that yet.
Oh, got it.
I did work on Dwayne's, but I want to work on Dwayne's when I let him know and he can be live.
Got it. Yeah, we can go to the do these.
Here's what I want you to launch it. I want it done, man.
I want to launch it. It is kind of launched. It's sort of launched. It's a half launch.
Are you sending people?
What's that?
Are you sending people? Oh, we didn't do bullets.
That's right. We got to do the bullets. That was my my point. I was going to, as soon as we finish this, because I thought we were doing Dwayne's, that's exactly what I'm going to do after this.
Okay.
I mean, we can do it. I'd be happy to do it. It's just because again, there's four buying personalities. Okay.
Okay.
And
this is your bank code, right?
This is bank code, right? This is what Sherry Tree created with bank. And as we were talking about it, I just pulled up the wrong page. But as we were talking about different things yesterday, all of a sudden I realized in the bullets, because remember how you said, I don't want definitions. Well, I understand. Nobody wants definitions. They're boring. That wasn't the purpose of why I created. What I was doing is filling space with it as I did it, right?
I get that.
But all of a sudden you said bullets. And so I'm sitting there yesterday afternoon and I'm thinking through. So as an example, I can show you where I've done this type of thing on a different page on the inside my Kyvio account on the TSP upsell page. Okay.
Okay.
If you go to that one.
I have too many things open.
I know, that's kind of where I was for a second.
You said TSP?
Yeah, TSP. It's.
Is it the PSA TSP?
No. That's a clone of it, but it's down. There it is. Bottom one, TSP upsell page, which is it's got a better name for it. Okay.
Okay.
So that page, if you go down below the Tanya Hoffman's testimonial video,
okay,
why the savings passports are so effective. There's a prime example of the 4 buying personalities. So like I said, I've done this on the TSP page. I haven't done it on the sales training page.
Well, I'll say even on this one, so I like the little up here.
I'm looking. Yeah.
Relationship, teamwork, community, charity contribution.
So those are, but the way those 5 words in each of those categories describe one of the bank categories. So as an example, that first one is an action personality. Freedom, flexibility, fun, image, excitement. That's going to attract the action personality type.
See, where I would come back here though, and you need to layer on top of them is the actual bullet point. Like as it applies to the travel savings passport, the word image itself provides it doesn't do anything for you.
Right. But this was my point is, this was my first attempt at this late last week. And those are the bank codes. Okay. But what I hadn't done yet is take and expanded them. But at least I created the categories. Again, this is a working, living, breathing document, right?
Okay.
So what I was putting in there is, in fact, we should have everybody can go crack their own code. Go to mybankcode.com/U+1. It's one of the things that I taught on Monday. There's a reason for going to that extension though. So kick back out first before you do that. U+1. mybankcode.com/U+1. Oh, look. It's
I bet I can watch this handy dandy thing.
What are you doing?
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you better. I got fun little toys. I got a crawler at the bottom. Watch this. Show.
Oh, look at it. It came in, it left. It came in, it left.
Oh, there you go. That's what happens when you click too many times.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Everybody should go crack their code. So order those most like you to least like you. And what that'll do is help us be able to communicate the message better to folks. So again, what I did as an example, I took this and I took part of this information and I then took and started to think through. Now there's a lot of psychology and there's a lot of training behind this, but put them in the order of
down here.
There you go. Drop in the most like you to least like you. So the values that are most like you, you put in number 1. The values that are least like you put in number 4.
And then this is their lead magnet, and I'll be honest, they ask for way too much information.
Well,
you're not going to get it.
We get a lot of it. But what will happen now is what is normally a $97 report comes for free because you have now done this. My point to all this is we can now help you. I can communicate to you better because of this. Okay, this is what we were talking about yesterday, and what's exciting about this is that we now have the ability, whether it's face to face or done this way, I now know how to communicate to you better. Well, that happens the exact same on a website. Again, there's a lot of, we call it biology. What is your buying process? But you'll now get a report sent to you on you. It'll help you understand you better. But the other side of it is when we do that, what's exciting about that is we can now address people better. You know, how do we talk to people better? People like to be talked to and talked about in the best way possible for them, right? You like to hear, I love the fact that scroll keeps on going underneath there. That's cool as can be.
What? Oh,
the scroll. And so as an example, it just notified me that you did your test. And
I'm just going to give it a fake phone number because I don't want anyone calling me.
It's me. Nobody's gonna. It's mine. It's mine and Sean's site. For God's sakes.
I'm just saying, it would be terrible. I feel terrible for whoever has my phone number except 1 digit off. I think there's a whole Seinfeld episode about that, like where Elaine is giving, like she has a standard fake number, and I just laughed because I was like, every girl I know has a slightly fake number. And I remember the day that cell phones became.
Where you trusted us.
I remember the first time that
you're not answering that fine.
In a bar, and I went to give my fake phone number out, and the guy whipped out his phone and started to dial it. I was like, no.
Yeah, that's always, you got caught. Anyway, let's go back to my page. So you'll see on those 4 categories, not that page, the other page, the Kyvio page, silly.
Well, you're being very confusing and demanding. I'm just letting you know that.
Oh, I'm being confusing and demanding.
There you go.
Fine. Wishpond. What the heck's that?
That is a competitor-ish for Kyvio.
Really?
But just for the education part, like the membership.
Got it.
But the interesting thing that they offer is a do-it-yourself option, like Kyvio is currently, and a done-for-you option.
I like the done-for-you option.
I know, right? And so we were trying to look at where Kyvio and Warfare Marketing could work together. So do-it-yourself is obviously just Kyvio, but there's a done-for-you option where they would work with Warfare Marketing, and we would offer them the capability where we kind of run their platform, their membership. We make sure it's all set up. Like I'm not necessarily going to create all your content for you, like that's on you, but the ability to put all that stuff in there, and we'll manage it on a monthly basis. And one of the things they mentioned, like for Wish Pond, is they don't actually offer traffic driving. But it doesn't matter if you build it if you don't drive any traffic to it.
Right.
So adding options, not just done for you in the management of the base itself, but also offering levels that include traffic. That way people have successful pages. So on that note, so back to your U+1. So with this, I get that idea. And
so that's what
I build pages, I love this idea of incorporating the different like personality types or learning types, or
right.
I usually will layer, oh my gosh, I forget the name of it right now, story brand on top of the entire page as well. Again, after you build it, and after you get started, then you just kind of massage it a little bit. But like even this is great by taking, because you basically put the words that you need to use in here.
Right.
Now it just needs to be formulated into a good bullet point.
Right. And so that's what my point was. Last week, as I was tweaking this page, I realized that because now all 4 buying types are represented there. So if for you it's about relationships and whatever, then there's there's the detail behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might skip the first 3 bullet points because that's not what's important to you. But that 4th one, boy, that 4th one is why you would take that action. So again, it's like with all of these things, it's how do we, that's why I love training, because when you're sitting there, you're constantly observing and watching, and you see the light bulbs go off, and all of a sudden somebody looks at it and goes, well, God, that makes sense. Boy, if I would have, right? And so this, I feel, adding that, in my opinion, which I know digital marketers don't care about opinions, they only care about testing, I get. But in my opinion, that made the page stronger.
The order of my cards.
What's that? I know. See, that's, you would, as a knowledge, you would understand that. But see, you're a unique combination in that you're an action knowledge. I'm an action nurturer. So there's a difference. So I care that it's not in the order for you.
Well, see, it was interesting. Like, I will debate, because she came and she spoke to Richardson Plano Networking Group with us, and I couldn't decide which one I would put ahead of the other. And that knowledge card has a tendency to be on the forefront, especially if I'm in a business setting. And I'm just looking at her with absolute skepticism. It's just like, because you're the knowledge. It's like,
it's because there you are, right there. That's you.
Well, I was explaining to her, if you handed me those cards, so she was saying you could go into a meeting and ask people, to put them in order for you. And I was like, if you did that to me, I probably would hand them right back to you. Like, I'll play along because we're in this learning environment. But if you did this to me at a meeting, especially if you're coming to my office and you're meeting me and you're needing a sale from me or something like that, I would turn you right back around. I might ask you to leave.
Well, it done.
That's because that's who you are.
Yeah, not presented. Presented properly, I've never had anybody not want to do it. Never. But again, I think it takes presenting it properly. I mean, the reason you're doing, here's the reason for doing this. The only thing we want to do is serve each person's individual needs. We truly want to do that, right? Don't you truly want to serve your customers' needs? Of course you do, even though you're a techie, right? But you still want to serve their needs, right? So if I can understand who you are better, then it's going to help me serve you faster. We're going to save time. We're going to not do these weird dances, and we're going to talk the right things to each other, right? So as an example, what I realized yesterday on those 7 bullets, in other words, to parallel what's been done here, to take this and put it over into those 7 categories. Now, not 5 words for each category. What I did is I took a word for each of the 7 categories from each of the bank codes. Does that make sense? So there's 4.
Okay.
So as an example, fine, if we're going to do this, I'll pull out my cheat sheet that I actually already made. So like on the exam,
like that's totally like a side thing, but I love how we added, I've never done that before, but since they were authors, I love how we added the book cover there.
Oh yeah, no, I think it gives them credibility. As they're giving me credibility, it gives them credibility. As opposed to just saying #1 New York Times bestseller, author of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Right.
Now you see it.
I wish his picture wasn't on the front of his book, but I get it.
You what?
I wish his picture wasn't like right there on the front of the book like that. But like the different types of people that might be on your page, this gives you a lot of credit with a whole different group of people and almost the opposite people that this one does.
Mm-hmm. Rayanne says, social proof, ! Oh,
social proof. So when I build these pages to give us some, kind of give like an outline, because I mean, I came from neurolinguistic program training in the military. I will say not sales neurolinguistic programming, but military, more like interrogation. I like building the page based off, first and foremost, need and tech, right? So we kind of literally, we went over kind of the need and the tech basically on a basic format the other day when we were optimizing the page. So you built the page. So that's the first, like, just give me something, right? Something is better than nothing, right? Then laying over that optimization, you know, what is above the fold? Do you have an offer? Do you have some scarcity? Do you have a spectacular headline? Do you have a subheadline that tells, that's, you know, really punchy? And then you're going in there and you're giving them bullet points. Like right now you have more of a longer description. It's not really selling, I'll be honest, to anybody. Like this one is better, how to save time, energy, and effort by quickly identifying. That's better. The sentences are not doing it. We got the social proof that we added in there, right? We've got the great images of you actually doing something.
Hey,
no. I've got people who've never been on a stage with more than 2 people, you know, in the audience, acting like that they speak on really big stages. So the idea that, you know, all these people came to see you do something, that's cool, right? We have the actual technical specifications so that people, you know exactly, you know, we're setting expectations. We've got a bonus premium offer, and we have another offer, and I believe we could even throw another offer in here somewhere else, right?
Sure.
But after you get that, I like to go in there and then make sure that, you know, there's a section like, we'll say additional optimization. Are we telling people exactly who this is for? That's another big one. People are like, oh, it's not for me. So I actually sent you a presentation by Oren.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get it. I looked at it on my phone quickly. I didn't get it. It's like a
it was a long presentation, I'm not gonna lie. Hour and 37 minutes. But turning around and making sure, like, one of the things that I noticed he does is he acknowledges this like in extreme ways. Who is this for? Oh, well, lots of people say this is not for him. This is for realtors. This is for insurance salespeople. This is for business owners. This is for just rattling off all the different people, because one of the biggest objections is this isn't for me. Making sure that I explain that it's simple to use, right? Because it doesn't matter how complicated. I could be trying to sell somebody, you know, rocket science, and I still have to tell them it's super simple, or they won't buy into it, right? But then coming back after that, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's one of the keys in presentation development is to anticipate all the potential objections and answer them in your talk. So one of the, as an example, and it's an absolutely true story, but in one of the presentations I did from stage that sold millions of dollars in product, but I said, so I went to an event one day and the mentor said it was $25,000. I put it on my brand new American Express card before discussing it with my wife. I'll tell you more about that later. True say, I mean, it was all absolutely true. And then I came back later, circled around and closed that loop on the conversation with my wife. Okay. But so why was that built into the presentation? Number one, it was true. Not, you never lie from stage. Never. Okay. But the other side of it was I was so compelled by that mentor's presentation, and I knew that I needed what he had to offer. So I took that action. Okay. And so the point is, but by doing that, it also gave other people the comfort and confidence that they too could make decisions for themselves regarding their future, their life, their whatever. Now, am I going to say that there's your test? That's you. Isn't that cool? You just got that $97 report free just by going to mybankcode.com/U+1. It's absolutely fabulous. You'll love learning about you.
I'll love learning about me.
But
see, that was calendar, given my background in military intel, given more the knowledge side, given the idea that I know what information and the power of information and a military view of neurolinguistic programming, the idea that somebody would hand me a quick personality test, essentially, and I would openly give away so much power, I was like, it ain't happening.
Well, it's not about, it's just, it allows us to serve you better because of it. It's not about, you're not giving away any power. What you're doing is you're helping us communicate to you in a way, in a style that you want to be communicated to. See,
but again, realize that as the intel person who understands this from a interrogation standpoint.
That's not, stop it. It's not what it is. And here's the good news. There's only 15% of the world that's you. So no, it's does
it really tell you that?
What's that? Yeah, no, it's fascinating. It is phenomenally well done, which is why Sean and I have aligned with Bank Code and Sherry and Esther to try to, we want to serve more people. And I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want to present things to you you don't want to hear, any of that kind of stuff, right? So if I can understand you better, wouldn't that be better? Here's this not only happens, by the way, in business, this happens personally. So actually, when I had my wife crack her code, it gave me all sorts of insight that I didn't necessarily have previously. And that has become very valuable. So it's not we've got I don't know if anybody else besides me has noticed, but we've got kind of some divides going in our world right today, right?
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
I think you could chop off almost the entire bottom half, and it's just this top area.
Well,
except maybe like commitment.
But see, that's your analysis. Notice the second one there says analysis of the knowledge. It's all about you. I really don't need to know about anybody else. This is what
you could literally cut off the entire bottom part, and it's just not even.
You could. Let me just suggest it's not going to happen. So, but isn't that that's the beauty, is now understanding your strengths. That's why your strengths are. See, you could gauge that, your strategic thinking and, how you do things and your design. And how you create things and all that, right?
Strategy and tactics. I'll take it.
Well, that's exactly it. So, but that's your strength. So basically, it
I feel like this is where a lot of women live.
Oh yeah, yeah. But as an example, I'm an action nurturer. So I'm the top one, bottom one are my first two. So that's why I care about building community and contribute.
Empathy. Ugh. We lost Scott here for a hyper-second. We lost you for a second.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to get mad and kick me off. But you start to understand the value of this, right? Is talking to you. I've got to talk to you. So like Rayanne, I'm going to suggest, and I suggested she do this the other day, which she hasn't done yet, by the way. But if she were to do it, she's going to be probably a very high nurturer first. She's going to be an N first. She might be an NK, but she's maybe an NA. The point is, this is all really valuable information, because then we can talk to your code. Already did. I didn't get a report on you, Rayanne. Yeah. Right. Right. Correct. Right. Totally agree.
Now I disappear. We're in disappearing mode. But then so like one of the first ones that I like to layer over is story brand, so that you tell a story in a way that, because stories sell, right? That you present the client as the hero when you implement, not when I teach, right? It's all about you.
Right.
I love the way that story brand opens. They open as, I'm going to ruin every movie you've ever watched, every book you've ever read. And let me make sure I get it right. It's like you have a mentor, story brand steps.
Oh, sorry, Rayanne just did it. It just hit my phone, Rayanne. My apologies. You already did it. You're right. Sorry.
Look at her. I'm all about the science first.
I know. I'm sorry, Rayanne.
I do like to layer story brand first, and you basically start with the character again, which always needs to be your client, and they have a problem. So like going back to your page specifically, let's go back over here. If it will load. What's up with that? But even in that first bullet point, you're not addressing who we're actually talking to. So this is what happens every now and then. Well, we'll just start.
Yeah.
Why is it?
I had some issues with it this morning too.
I don't think this one's not Kyvio. This is my computer. But I'll go back over here. So your person, so like one of the things you don't have at the top is you don't have a market call out. So that would be one of those. Let's add a market call out at the very top. So like, are we talking to salespeople? Are we talking to this person? And this is where it helps, to be very specific on your avatar or have multiple pages. They have a problem. So identifying their problem, I kind of like identify it as sticking a knife in them and making them feel a little pain. Because when you have pain, you want to fix things. Needs a guide. That's where you get to step in. And that's when we first get to talk about you, who has a plan. And that one's really specific because everybody wants to know that you have a very specific plan of action, that you're not just willy-nilly everywhere, right?
Right.
Awesome. Sick kid today. But then here's the next one. You have to call them to action. You literally have a CTA, call to action, that you show them success stories. This is like your social proof. I help them know that failure does happen, but it's going to be in a way that you can, you're going to help walk them through. So in this way, failure happens, but hey, if you work with me, we're going to help you avoid all the failure humanly possible. And then I like to go.
That's really cool. I like that.
Later, like the neurolinguistic programming and making sure, but here's where, whether it's a bank code or neurolinguistic programming or whichever one you, the millions, I don't know how many are out there, the prominent ones that you use, this is where coming to back to your avatar. So on my avatar worksheet, I don't, man, you know, walking somebody through all the different ones might be very difficult, but I do it on a very basic one.
Right.
Are they emotional or are they logical? Are they generally happy or are they generally sad? Like understanding some of the basic part, like if you know the vast majority of people on a neurolinguistic programming side are visual, you know you're going to need a lot of visuals. But if you're selling to a group of engineers, even though only 10% are this highly logical thinking side in NLP, but engineers, you know, tend to be like 90%, right? So you can write your page from a more logically minded stage. Oren, the thing that I gave you yesterday, his is great too. Sometimes I feel like it can be a little bit more difficult to layer on a landing page the same way, but his is the opposite from even, like, let's say I was selling to logical minded people, or I think you would call it knowledge people in bank code, that you still have to identify with them on a croc brain level. So it's like in a logical way, getting past the logical barrier into the croc brain. So those tend to be much more difficult in the big scheme of things. And so that's where like the get it done. Like you could always take it to the nth degree, but sometimes it just needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I think I totally agree, which is why what I love about Kyvio is being able to, and love about what we're doing is being able to put this up, again, because it allows me to visualize it too, right? And all of a sudden you see and you go, well, I kind of like that, but I don't know that I like that. And that's basically how, so that TSP page, that Travel Savings Passport page, had been up. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting and looking at the bank code cards here in front of my computer screen, and I went, oh, so what if I took and I created, you know, the 4 categories, took 5 words in each category that now somebody could look at it. They now align with that, and all of a sudden, that's the trigger that really gets them thinking in their style. Right? This is how they buy. It's not that I've said this forever in sales training. As a salesperson, I don't ever want to sell you anything, but I always want you to buy a lot from me. Therefore, it's incumbent upon me to create that environment for you to want to buy. That's my job. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility to get you to want to buy. It's my job. Is to create enough value and enough reasons and enough. I was coaching a CEO last night. He called me and he was in kind of a panic. And he's trying to design a program. And I said, and he goes, well, somebody else could come up with what we've come up with and come to market. I said, there's nothing on this planet that if it's already been introduced, somebody couldn't do that with. So what you have to do is you have to build value around everything you do. Yep. And if you're going to stay in this price versus price mode, then the one that has the lowest price with the most number of things wins. But if you want to stay out of the things price mode, it's got to be value. You've got to give them benefits and why this is a better choice. And if build it the best you can build it and go to market. And if somebody tries to do something with it, add more value, modify it. But 10x it. I said, you're working trying to create the ultimate product in an already $8 billion market. Sorry, not 8 billion, $8 trillion market. So you're all of a sudden working to come out and launch the hybrid of hybrids in a business that already does $8 trillion. And you're concerned that somebody might follow your lead. Here's your choice. Make it the best you can make it, go to market, and do everything you can, anticipating that you might have to add more later. Even if you don't know what more is, right?
Well, even validating the idea to a small group, like I've never done the presentation on how I build or can build 365 Facebook posts in one day.
Right.
Granted, that doesn't include our video. Video takes a little longer, but I've never done that presentation. I've never broken down our proprietary process. I didn't even know if people would want to learn that. Like, not everyone wants to create 300. They just want to create like 5 or something, right?
Yeah, this week.
Yeah, just testing the model though, and you put it out there to a handful of people, and you see, and you do the program. It doesn't have to be a perfect presentation. So I have got clients who are like, oh, I can't do a webinar a week. I'm like, why not? You're just supporting a small community. You're validating ideas. Do the same webinar every single week, but every single week tweak it a little bit, see how the response was. What about your invitation to does one invitation to the webinar work better than the next? What happens? That's like even Kavio, they were like, we got this huge lift as soon as we added testimonials, and I was like, wait, you didn't have testimonials?
Yeah.
How did you miss that one? But the ability to layer, right? Do it on the fly in the beginning. You don't have to look at what the biggest, baddest pros in your industry have. Get something that's uniquely yours and just start testing and validating that and help people get where they want to be. And business grows. Funny how that works. Help people do.
Novel concept.
I know.
Absolutely novel concept, no doubt. No, I mean, I think that's the fun of this. And so, again, when I look at, Sean and I were having this conversation yesterday about training. I said, I love training, but because you love having the light bulbs go off and people just all of a sudden going. So when I see other trainers, I mean, there's a ton of fabulous trainers, which is why we're creating these alignments, right? This really comes back to the overall vetted, trusted resource network, right? Let's do business with a certain group of people that are really freaking awesome. I think that's the way that it should be, and support each other along the way. A friend of mine came into town and he spoke last night at Glenn Moshar's acting class. Glenn is an amazing actor, and he's on The Resident now and all that. And I've met him a couple times at speaking events and that, but other friends know him far better here in Dallas than I do by far. But anyway, one of my friends came in from California and was presenting at his event last night. And so he sent me a text and said, hey, pop on over. I'm going to be doing this event. And so he was like, man, you made it. And I said, of course I made it. And I said, I want to, if you're nice enough to invite me, I'm going to be gracious enough to show up because I want to support you. And he goes, right. Well, yeah, but you don't need to support me. And I said, yeah, but there's a time where I want you to support me. And how do I ask you to support me if I don't support you? I mean, that's what if we would think more on that line, how do we support people either in our business or that are complementary to our business or whatever? I mean, and part of his talk was about relationships, that we crave connection. And it's true. We all crave connection. And so how do you do that? You do it by connecting. I mean, it sounds simple, but it was very cool. So anyway, Bob Donnell, shout out to Bob. He did an awesome job last night. And I was honored that Glenn would let me sneak in.
Sneak in?
See what they're doing. It's really cool to watch an acting class because far more of it, and they said it last night. It's really personal development disguised as an acting class. It's really cool. Really cool.
Nope, I value the few acting classes I've had. You don't realize how much you need them throughout life.
Exactly.
Small things. I will wrap up, but I think that's going to be the big lesson here on your landing pages. Is we went through the technical optimization yesterday, and you're going to come over here and you're going to fix these bullet points for me.
I am. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm doing that today.
But it's all the different ways that you can layer once you have one bridge built. So even I'll have to make sure I'll send you a couple links. But even at this point, like the thing that you need to be doing right now is driving traffic to this.
Right.
So I'll probably hop off here real quick when we get done here as we're wrapping up now. It's almost 10. But going through, and I'm going to go buy the AppSumo deal. Let's see if I can pull it up for that. Remember that one we covered? I never actually bought it yet because I wanted to do a review for everybody on it.
Oh, yeah.
Now I forgot the name of it. Oh, my God, is it gone? No, it's Dub. I'm going to go do a review of this one and check it out.
Yeah.
There was one, I was highly considering this one, man. Easy Webinar.
Yeah.
Off the books now. Bad deal. They killed it for me.
Yeah, it was annual, wasn't it?
Well, the annual, I can understand the annual because of the power it does, and I could see that, it costs money to run, good applications. Right. Where it absolutely killed me is Rayanne pointed out it does not support ActiveCampaign. And I was like, oh, well, not yet. They have to create these API integrations. And for the bigger companies like Salesforce and ActiveCampaign and Infusionsoft, it takes more, right? I was reading the reviews, and one of the reviews was right here. It's locked until you buy 10 AppSumo deals. So $790 to unlock ActiveCampaign, and then you have to pay that every year. But Webinar Jam and some of the other ones are nowhere near that price.
300, aren't they? 297.
On a webinar, you can usually get it for like $299, $399.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 297. Yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
And it completely integrates ActiveCampaign down to how many minutes watched. So this one, it blew my mind that they wouldn't even unlock it. So I would have been more than happy to pay 2 codes, maybe try it out. But yeah, that they cut that out, I was like, oh, it's not a lifetime deal, and I have to stack it excessively to get what I need. Yeah, no, not happening. But the Dub, I think that when implemented with our other sales system, that could be pretty awesome.
Perfect. Awesome.
I think that would work for what you're doing here.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. All right, I'm going to work.
You're going to work. Yes, I need to. What can I fix, baby? Look, I was going to do real quick. I got bank code, but if you want your phone, look, we're working on his stuff. We're working on my stuff. If you want to have us go to your website, and I'm going to ramp this up really when Kyvio 2.0 comes out because it will be so much easier for me to pump them out.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a TV broken. But go to Double Funnel TV. Let's get the process started. Literally, okay, 1 minute. All we have to have is information, and you've got to have a Kyvio account and be a Business Growth Network member. So, Business Growth Network member is only $17 a month. The Kyvio account starts at, I believe, $27 or $28 a month.
29.
Secret to everybody watching. I'm going to tell you right now, buy it now. And if you don't buy it now, there's going to be a couple of deals coming up, Scott, even for you. I'm going to let you know about it.
Yep.
We're going to offer 1 year pricing. So it'll be like
nice.
$299, $499 for the year. But that way you'll get the advanced account at the lower price that includes everything, right?
Awesome. Yep.
because when 2.0 comes out, it's going to be really expensive.
Awesome. Well, we'll get out ahead of it.
Yep. All right.
The TV.
Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See everybody.
Bye, Scott.
Bye-bye.
The TV, my movie just went off.